Hey guys, welcome to Isaiah's Reviews, and today we're reviewing the Renpho air purifier. This is for about a 300 square foot room or office or something like that, and we're in about slightly less than double size right now, but I don't think that's going to matter for the test that we're going to try to do. This is a 5-stage filtration system with a Hepa filter inside. It also can handle odor and smoke odors and stuff like that, supposedly, but we're going to test that out by burning one of these cone incense, which my wife hates. So we're going to burn one of those while we run this thing for the 20 minutes that one of these cone things takes to burn out, and we'll be able to tell if there's still a smell or something like that, how strong that is and how good of a job it does handling smoke. It'll be like an unrealistic kind of test, but an aggressive one, I think, because the little incense burner there will be close to this and it can pull it in. It's going to recirculate this air in here, so we'll see if it traps the odor of this and it doesn't just recirculate the smell out into this garage, which is a little bit bigger than 300 square foot. So yeah, I think it should be a right on spot on test, but let me read over some of the stats or specs on this thing so we get a good idea of it. And we opened it for the first time and testing it out for the first time, but it's got true Hepa air filtration, which they recommend changing every 6 months. It's subjective. I mean, you can vacuum these things out. I do it. I have a 2-stage filtration system in every single bedroom. No dust, no lint, on anything in the room. So I highly recommend air purifiers in bedrooms, period. And even in your living room, it can knock down a huge amount on dust and stuff like that. You just don't know what it does for you benefits-wise until you have one. And I highly recommend them. But anyway, back to this. It uses 4-stage filtration. I might have said 5 earlier, my bad. 4-stage filtration includes pre-filter, which catches a lot of that big stuff. Charcoal filter, which helps with the odor. Activated carbon filter, that too. And a true Hepa filter removes 99.97% of dust and odors with a clean air delivery rate of 135 CFM. It covers up to an average to a large living room up to 300 square feet. So basically it's like a bedroom, a master bedroom or something like that is what this would be great for, in my opinion. Noise level of less than 54 decibels. So we'll determine if that's allowed or not. I'm not sure on numbers and stuff like that. Just basically just me listening, I can tell. But yeah, it has intuitive switches and buttons on here. 4-in-1 filtration system, we've covered that. 3-speed fans. You can get low, medium, or high. Real-time air quality monitor on here, so it's an auto mode that can tell when your air quality is kind of down, and it can turn itself up as needed, so that's great. Automatic timer shuts off the unit after 2, 4, or 8 hours, which is nice. Whisper quiet operation. Normally I just leave these things on continuous low, because after you clean the air, I just leave them on low. I have like 2-stage filters in every, like I said, in every room, and I just leave them going constant on low, and they're great. Not this brand, but just different brands. Whisper quiet operation, we'll figure that out. Filter replacement reminder lets you know when to change your filter, and that's just basically resistance and airflow. Key lock function is the hold the key lock button for 3 seconds to lock the device in off mode. So if you got kids and stuff like that, you can lock this thing up, which is nice. So the packaging is pretty plain Jane. It's just this top insert here, and the unit comes out with filters pre-installed. You get the little owner's manual, which, do we need that? No. And then just this thing in the bottom here. So there's very minimal things in here to worry with, and none of that foam that just falls apart everywhere, which I hate. So across the top here we see on, off, speed, sleep, your time, which you can set or just run it continuous. Lock button there. Auto quality, I guess, air quality. Auto quality, air quality. But no, that's there, and your filter thing there to let you know when to change your filter. This cover looks like it just snaps off, real clean like. And we do have some plastic on the filters. So this is your pre-filter. This is to take care of all the big stuff before it gets on through to these other 3 filters, which is another big one here. This is a little thicker foam piece there to get a little bit smaller than that first thing does, which that first one really doesn't do much. This looks like the charcoal filter, which these are super duper important. I love these things. And you can hear them rattling around in there. Looks like they might have enough. I mean, you can visually see the charcoal pellets in there, which is nice. And here's the Hepa filter itself. It looks like they're arranged in, of course, the order they go back. So make sure to pay attention to the flow, because they do have flow to them. And then here's the fan inside there. So we're going to go ahead and load this stuff back in. And there's pull tabs to grab to pull these filters out. This carbon filter has some Velcro, which you can align and put this second stage filter back into, and I've got the pull tabs exposed here to pull this all out as one unit. Everything's a good tight seal around that, which is super duper important. Looks like this outer filter here has some tabs that will need to align themselves back in here and will snap into place, which is nice. Okay, so everything is secure in place. We'll put this on. Well, there it be. And there's a little sticker back here in the back. This is appliance comes with all filters fitted inside. You have to remove the packaging, since we've already done that. So now we're going to put the incense burner here. This is cone ones, and a little burner itself, which the gravity falls down, but it's going to be close to this filter, so I don't think it matters what size room that we kind of do this in. But smaller the better, of course, to where you can see if this thing does its job or not, which we should be able to tell them. Speed, listen audibly. That's the auto mode. Okay. That's as loud as it gets, which is not that bad, and I hear no rattling, so it's got a good seal going on, and these filters fit nice and snug. They fit so snug in there, like it should pull everything through the filter and not the edges. A lot better than my name brand ones that I have in all my rooms, so kudos to them for that. I don't hear any rattling. Big plus. That's the nighttime. You can put that in sleep mode. Like it kills your LEDs. This is your timed. You can put timed. Okay, so it looks like sleep just goes a little bit below the lowest fan setting. Oh, that's cool. I think air quality can be relayed to you through the LEDs themselves in the corners, which looks pretty cool. You can turn that on via that button there, so that's a cool way to get notified. And then it has the auto mode there that you can put it in. But yeah, that's the fastest modes, the time modes. We'll cut that off. Lock button, sleep mode. So everything's covered and typical for this, except for the LED indications. Those are really cool. So let's fire up this incense and turn this puppy up on high and see what we get. And even for fun, I'll be lighting a match. So that has a smell all its own. Alright, so the cone is doing its thing as we speak, so we're going to let this completely burn down and we'll see if we smell it at all. I mean, these things you can smell pretty strong, and like I said, my wife hates them, so when she gets home, we'll be able to see, which she should be on pretty soon, so we'll be coming out here in 20 more minutes. We'll see if you smell anything. Alright, so I'm back here after about 20 minutes of the incense cone burning down. I had to remove the incense cone because ashes and all that kind of stuff just starts to smell, right? So I gave it I had to go take a shower to get the incense smell off of me, because immediately I walked back in the house and my wife was like, oof, your clothes are just reeking in it. And that was just from me lighting it, leaving, coming back and grabbing the ash. So the stuff is extremely potent and sticky, like it'll stick to you like glue. But the smell itself, the incense smell itself, has died down quite a bit. Like there's probably, like, if I had to gauge it, it's probably like 20% odor left to what it was when I first came in here and grabbed the ash out of the tray and dumped away. And nothing has been opening or closing anything in this room. It's been contained. And normally an incense smell would be stronger, a lot stronger. So it is cleaning and purifying the air for sure, but it didn't completely remove the incense smell, which is just borderline impossible to do really if you've ever burned incense. But I'm totally surprised at what it did do. And we can still see that it's picking up dirty air from the sensor on the side here, which will hatch right here. You'll open, you'll keep this area clean. This will determine your air quality. So when you get the judgment call by the little ears, it's going off a clean sensor. So it's still working on it. And I'm pleased with where it is, because I've been in the room where the exact same cone, incense cone, burns. And it's still just as strong like the end of the night or the next day as it was when you burned it almost, but that stagnant smell is still there. The stagnant smell is kind of gone, but there's still like a hint, like 20% of it like remaining, something like that. So I think it's done a great job for how small it is, and this room's a lot larger than, well, not a lot, but well, I guess a lot larger than it calls for, the 300 square feet. So I'm gonna say, yeah, if you're in the market for it, I like the notification lights and stuff like that. I think it's going to be great. I'm going to run it constant, probably in the living room there. And then boom, we caught a blue light for just a little bit. So I think it's teetering on good and fair. That may come, yeah, see, it came back. So right now it's teetering on that good and fair air quality. So it's cool to know that it works. But I will say this thing is pulling a lot of air through it. I mean, I can physically feel it, and it's expelling out a ton of air up here. So it's doing a good job of pushing air out and up and circulating through the sides. So that's a good turbine. That's a good whirlwind there to purify your room. So make sure to explode on that subscribe button and ding that bell so you get notified of the next product review I got coming out. It's going to be a doozy. It's a game changer review. It's a company that has decided to make a product on demand, or we'll say because of me.